Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Public Facilities Commission. Before us today is the Public Facilities Department. Seamus?
Morning, Commissioners. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast live. My name is Seamus Hyland. I'm an Assistant Corporation Counsel in the City Law Department, filling in for the Public Facilities Commission Legal Advisor, T.T. Lee. Before we get started, I will ask Colleen Daly, the PFC Secretary, to take a roll call of the meeting participants. Colleen, if you would please conduct the roll call.
Thank you, Seamus. Please unmute your device and confirm your presence when I call your name. Beginning roll call with the Commission. Larry Mamoli, Commissioner.
Present.
Donald Wright, Commissioner.
Present.
Seamus Hyland, Assistant Corp Counsel.
Present.
And with PFD, Ron McNulty, Deputy Director.
Present.
Wayne McKenzie, Project Manager 2.
Present.
Tom Kosmowski, Senior Project Manager.
Present.
Alistair Lux, Project Manager 2.
Present.
Robertson Castor, Senior Project Manager.
Present.
I'll read for the remainder of the individuals who are in attendance but do not need to unmute your device. Elizabeth Feltner, paralegal for the PFC. Evan Brinkman, Assistant Director for Operations and Design. Pat Mulvey-Welsh, Assistant Director for Construction. And this concludes roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Noting for the record that for the Public Facilities Department, we have with us Ron McNulty, the Deputy Director of the Department. PFD has 4 vote requests on the agenda for today. Vote number 1 is being presented by Wayne McKenzie, Project Manager 2 for PFD. Vote number 1 concerns an amendment to the vote of July 19th, 2023 for a contract with UTIL Incorporated to provide architectural design and construction administration services associated with the South End Library project, located at 685 Tremont Street in the South End. This request is for an increase of $1,775,030 to the design services contract for design development through construction bid documents. Wayne, if you would please present vote number 1.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to request an amendment to the professional design contract with UTIL Inc. for the South End Library project. As far as the project overview, the Public Facilities Department is managing the design and construction of the project, which is located at 685 Tremont Street in the South End. The background, UTIL Inc. was retained to provide design and construction administration services for the project, which included the advertised scope of services, which requested an architect who was registered in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to lead a team of consultants, including landscape architect, civil engineer, geotech engineer, structural, fire protection, plumbing, HVAC, telecommunications, and data engineer, a specifications writer, code consultant, hazardous materials consultant, building envelope specialist, experience in the following types of projects: urban, leadership and energy and environmental design, lead and community engagement. The reason for this amendment, the amendment is for additional money to cover design-related costs from design development through construction bid documents, not including the construction administration. The original design contract was only funded for the design study through schematic design, with the intent of coming back as additional funds became available. The construction administration funds will be requested under a future amendment when, again, additional funds become available. The funds requested are approved by the City's Office of Budget Management. And now, if I may direct your attention to the PowerPoint slides. The first slide depicts the front of the existing library. The second slide, you see the side view of the existing library. And the third slide will show the back of the existing library. This building is the one that's going to be torn down and a new one built in its place. As far as the design fee negotiation, this fee is in accordance with the Public Facilities guidelines for design fee calculation, with PFD and UTIL negotiate additional services not to exceed $1,775,453, with the completion of the remaining work to be done and final payment made on or before October 25th of 2028. In conclusion, I'm seeking the PFC's approval to amend the professional design and construction administration service contract with UTL Inc. for the reasons presented, which are also noted in the project background memorandum submitted with this vote request. At this time, I welcome the opportunity to answer any questions you may have, and thank you for your time and consideration.
No questions? Again, a good project.
Thank you.
No questions, Commissioner. Motion to approve. Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Vote number 1 is approved. Vote number 2 is being presented by Tom Kazmowski, Senior Project Manager for PFD. Vote number 2 is a request for contract award to Sasaki Architects, P.C. to provide architectural design and construction administration services associated with the North End Community Center project located at 741 Commercial Street in the North End. The contract price recommended is $6,746,884. Tom, if you would please present vote number 2.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to request a vote for approval to award a professional design and construction administration service contract to Sasaki Architects, P.C. for the North End Community Center project. The Public Facilities Department is managing the design and construction of the project, which is located at 741 Commercial Street, Boston, Mass. 02113. In addition, PFD is working with the Boston Center for Youth and Families to timely deliver the design services for the project within 182 weeks of the contract's execution. The scope of design services consists, but is not limited to, preparation of schematic design alternatives and then design development services for the selective alternative, development of construction and contract documents, which will be inclusive of development of an early bid and site enabling package for site clearing, foundations, and superstructure as the design may allow. Procurement services, pre-qualification bid and award, construction administration services, and final closeout and warranty period. May I direct your attention to the PowerPoint slides? So this slide is a view of the project site location located on Commercial Street in the Boston's North End community. Thank you. That's the last slide. The city publicly advertised for professional design services through request for qualifications process pursuant to Mass General Law, Section 7C. The advertisement was submitted to the city's small local business enterprise office for distribution and notice on its listserv and for publication in the city record in the Boston Globe on February 7, 2024. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in the Massachusetts Secretary of State Central Register weekly posting on February 8, 2024. In response to the RFQ, 10 firms submitted statements of qualifications for the project on March 6, 2024. A selection committee comprised of 5 people with experience in design and planning and construction from the City of Boston's Public Facilities Department, the owner's project manager, which is PMA Consultants, and the Boston Center for Youth and Families reviewed the qualifications of each firm on May 2nd, 2024, using the defined criteria in the RFQ. On May 3rd, 2024, 4 firms were shortlisted by the selection committee, and Sasaki Architects PC was recommended as the top design firm due to its experience with the site and project through their involvement in the study, the North End community, and excellent past experience with PFD on public construction projects. In addition, pursuant to the city's efforts in increasing participation of M and WPEs in city contracts, the following subconsultants to the firm are state-certified women business enterprises and minority business enterprises. The women business enterprises firms include JS Consulting Engineers for code consulting, Ilana Inc. for cost estimating and scheduling, Soden Sustainability for sustainable design and consulting, HLB Lighting Design is the lighting consultant, and Endelman and Lalek Engineering for energy modeling. The following sub-consultants are state-certified minority business enterprises. RSC Associates for Structural Engineering, and Fernandez and Associates for Fire Protection and Fire Alarm. In accordance with the RFQ's guidelines for design fee calculation, PFT and Sasaki Architects PFC negotiated the design fee not to exceed $6,746,884, including $2,313,884 for additional services. The design fee is based on an estimated construction cost of $65 million. In conclusion, I'm seeking the Public Facilities Commission's approval to award a professional design and construction administration service contract to Sasaki Architects PC, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have, and I thank you for your time and consideration.
Just two comments. One, I assume the North End community is thrilled by this. And two, the Capital Budget Office at this point has only approved the design funding, the $65 million for construction. Is that in the capital budget or?
I believe it's coming on a capital budget, yes. And also, one thing to know with this project, we are receiving a federal grant of $20 million. So for starters, it may potentially be, maybe more, but right now, we're getting a grant for $20 million for this project.
Okay, that was the point I was trying to bring up. That's great. Commissioner?
No, great work on the equity side with the MBs and WBs. So excited about that. That's it for me.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote number 2 is hereby approved. Vote number 3 is being presented by Alistair Lux, Project Manager 2 for PFD. Vote number 3 concerns recommended contract award to James Carr Architecture and Design, LLC, to provide house doctor consulting services for various city facilities, projects, and/or sites. Design review consulting services will be performed on an as-needed basis from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2028. The contract award is identified on the agenda and included in the supporting documents. The agenda identifies that there's a recommended contract price of not to exceed $1 million for Category 2, which is Green Building Technology and Sustainability, for a 5-year period. Alistair, if you would please present this vote request.
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. The following information provides an overview of the fiscal year 2024 through fiscal year 2028 Design Review Consulting Services Project, which is being brought before you for a vote of approval to award a design services contract to James Carr Architecture and Design in Design Review Category 2, Green Building and Sustainability. The city publicly advertised for professional design services through a request for qualifications process pursuant to MGL Chapter 7C. The advertisement was submitted to the city's small local business enterprise office for distribution and notice on its listserv, and for publication in the City Record and the Boston Globe on March 27th, 2023. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in the Massachusetts Secretary of State's Central Register weekly posting on March 29th, 2023. Due to the limited number of applicant firms responding to the initial RFQ, the RFQ was reissued and appeared once again in the City Record and in the Boston Globe on May 29th, 2023. And additionally, the advertisement also appeared again in the Massachusetts Secretary of State's Central Register weekly posting on May 31st, 2023. The scope of services were detailed in the RFQ. The term of the FY24 through 28 Design Review Consulting Services contract is from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2028. In response to the reissued RFQ, one additional firm submitted a statement of qualifications for Category 2 by the SOQ due date of June 14th, 2023 at 11 a.m. The aforementioned proposal was reviewed and discussed among the Designer Selection Committee members on July 18th, 2023, and thereafter each member evaluated and rated the SOQ using the evaluation criteria stated in the published RFQ. Next, the ratings were tallied by the designer selection administrator, and the firm was shortlisted and ranked in order of appropriateness for the project on July 18th, 2023. The ranking was based on experience with similar design review projects in Category 2 and on qualifications and experience with design review of new and renovation Chapter 149, 149A projects and the quality of past design review comments. The Designer Selection Committee recommended one firm for the FY 24 through 28 Design Review Consulting Services Category 2 to the Director of the Public Facilities Department as a result of this firm's overall qualifications and experience with design review consulting services. No interviews were conducted, and the proposed contract price is as follows. For Design Review Category 2, Green Building Sustainability, a $1 million maximum amount per contract for a 5-year period. Thus, I'm seeking the Public Facility Commission's approval to award a design review consulting services contract to James Carr Architecture and Design, LLC, and wanted to note that this vote request is delayed due to obtaining necessary paperwork from this vendor. I look forward to discussing and answering any questions you may have, and thank you for your time and review of this important matter.
No questions? Commissioner?
No questions, Commissioner.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Vote number 3 is hereby approved. Vote number 4 is being presented by Robertson Castor, Senior Project Manager for PFD. Vote number 4 is a request for contract award to Perkins & Will Architects Incorporated to provide programming and design through schematic design associated with the Madison Park Technical Vocational High School project located at 75 Malcolm X Boulevard in Roxbury. The contract price is recommended at $7,425,000. Robertson, if you would please present vote number 4.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm presenting before you a contract with Perkins & Will, as stated aforementioned by Mr. Highland. The scope of services is to provide programming and design services through the schematic design phase for the renovation of the Madison Park Technical Vocational High School, currently located at 75 Malcolm X Boulevard in Roxbury. Madison Park Technical Vocational High School currently takes up 60% of the education complex located at the aforementioned address and was built in the 1970s and is in need of major repairs and renovations. The intent of the project is to update the facilities so the faculty can provide technical and vocational training for the jobs of the present and future. As part of their services, the designer will review the education plan and approve programming to help determine the optimal layout of the new facility. The project will qualify for LEED Silver certification and will incorporate the new ordinance from December 11, 2019 requiring net zero carbon. There will be an extensive public engagement and presentation portion of this project process. The selection committee put together is made up of 6 members, combination of both PFD members, Boston Public Schools representatives, and the OPM for this project, Left Field LLC. We also have a community member who also happens to be a Madison Park alum on the designer selection committee. The request for qualifications for design services publicly appeared in the city's Small Local Business Enterprise Office, City Record, and the Boston Globe on March 25th, 2024. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in Combis and the Massachusetts Secretary of State's Central Register weekly posting on March 27th, 2024. In response to the RFQ, we had 7 firms submit applications on April 17, 2024. The aforementioned SOQs from the 7 firms were reviewed on May 22nd by the Designer Selection Committee, and 4 firms were shortlisted at the end of the preliminary round. There was an interview process held at Madison Park for the 4 firms, and the selected firm, Perkins & Will, was recommended for the project as a result of the firm's experience with other public vocational high school projects via the Chapter 149A process and similar projected costs. as well as for the blend of team members with extensive experience in their fields for similar projects and their combination of WBE and MBE firms selected as part of the team. Perkins & Will has partnered with the following MBE and WBE firms: Stollenly Architects, St. Fleur Communications, Samiotis for civil engineering, Les Messieurs Engineering, 3SI, JS Consulting, and HLB. The terms of the contract are for 156 weeks from the date of execution, and the fee was determined using the fixed fee schedule provided in the designer selection handbook. The fee was determined off of a 6.5% fee. It should be noted that the $7,425,000 is about 20% of that overall fee, as it is only encumbered for the schematic design phase. For the following reasons, I seek the Public Facilities Commission's approval to award a design services contract to Perkins & Will. I would like also to turn to the slide presentation. The first photo is a bird's eye view of the overall campus. Madison Park currently is housed in buildings 7, 1, 2, and shares building 4 with the adjoining school, O'Brien High School. Next slide, please. This is building 7, which is the formerly Occupational Resources Center, where all the vocational programming is housed. Next slide, please. And this is a view from the courtyard of where building 1, which is to the left, meets in with building 7. Both of these buildings are in consideration of this design process, as well as building 2, to the left of building number 1. Next slide. And this is a rendering of potentially what was shared in the feasibility studies of the reconfiguration of building 7 and building 1. Thank you. Turn to the commission for any questions you may have. I look forward to answering.
No questions, a great project, long overdue.
I echo that, Commissioner. No more comments.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Vote number 4 is hereby approved. This concludes PFD's agenda for today's PFC meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Meeting is
you.
adjourned.
Thank you.
Take care, Commissioner.
Thank you.